There is a very interesting story about Howard Schultz, the man who helped grow Starbucks into a famous global coffee brand. In the 1980s, when he visited Italy, he saw many espresso bars in Milan. There, people did not just buy coffee and leave. They stayed for a while. They talked. They met other people. They connected with each other. Howard Schultz realized something important. Coffee did not have to be only a product. Coffee could also be an experience. A coffee shop could become a third place in people's lives, not home, not work, but a place where people could stop, relax, and feel that they belonged. But when he brought this idea back to Starbucks, the founders at that time did not really agree with him. They wanted Starbucks to continue selling high-quality coffee beans. They did not want Starbucks to become a coffee shop that served drinks. If Howard Schultz had followed all their advice, he might have stopped believing in his idea. He might have stayed with the safe path. He might have told himself that other people knew better, but he chose a different way. He respected their opinions, but he did not let those opinions become the final answer for his life. He still trusted what he had seen in Italy. He still believed that coffee could be more than something people bought and took away. It could be a place where people stayed, talked, and felt connected. So later, he left Starbucks and started his own coffee company. His idea was inspired by Italian coffee culture. A few years after that, his company bought Starbucks. From that point, Starbucks slowly became a global coffee brand. To me, this story is not about ignoring advice. Advice can be helpful. People with more experience can teach us many things. The founders of Starbucks were not completely wrong. They simply had a different vision. But Howard Schultz teaches us one important lesson. Other people can give us a map, but they cannot walk our road for us. In our own life, we also hear many opinions. Some people tell us what job we should choose. Some people tell us what kind of life is safe. Some people tell us what dream is too big, too risky, or too unrealistic. We can listen, we can learn. But after that, we still need to come back to ourselves and ask, does this life feel right for me? Does this choice match my values? Am I choosing this because I truly want it, or because I am afraid of what people will think? Because sometimes, the path that is right for you may look strange to other people at first. They may not understand it. They may not believe in it. They may even tell you to choose something safer. But deep inside, if that path feels true to your values, your vision, and the life you want to build, maybe you should not walk away from it too quickly. Other people can give you advice. They can show you their map. They can tell you what worked for them. But your life is not their life. So listen to advice, but do not give your whole direction away. Because in the end, advice is only a map someone gives you, but the road is still yours to choose, and the life is still yours to live. And I think this is a very important point. There are some lessons we cannot truly understand just by listening to other people. We only really understand them when we go through them ourselves. You can hear many people say, set boundaries. But only when you have felt scared of disappointing others. Only when you have felt guilty for saying no. Only when you have been afraid of being disliked just because you chose to protect yourself. You will understand that setting boundaries is not as easy as a beautiful quote online. You can read many books that say, do not live to please other people. but only when you have lost yourself because you tried too hard to please too many people, only when you have felt tired from always guessing other people's emotions, only when you have lived for a long time as a nice and easy person, you will understand the cost of not living as your true self. In my opinion, wisdom is not about knowing many beautiful quotes. Wisdom is when a simple sentence suddenly becomes very real, because you have paid for it with your own experience. In the past, maybe you heard the sentence, "Choose yourself." You felt it was normal. Maybe you even thought it was a little selfish. But after you have stayed silent for too long, after you have tried too hard for someone who did not value you, after you have become exhausted because you kept ignoring your own feelings, you finally realize something. Choosing yourself is not selfish. Choosing yourself is responsibility. It is responsibility for your mental health. It is responsibility for your future. It is responsibility for the better version of yourself that you can become. I believe that life does not change only because we understand one more life lesson. Life changes when we start to live differently because of that lesson. Knowing that you deserve respect is one thing, but having the courage to stand up and walk away when someone looks down on you is another thing. Knowing that time is priceless is one thing, but having the courage to let go of meaningless things is another thing. So sometimes, I think we should not only ask ourselves, "What have I learned?" We should also ask one more question. How much of what I know have I actually lived? The real problem is not always that we do not have enough knowledge. The real problem is this: how much of the knowledge in our mind have we truly turned into real experience? I once saw a friend download many apps on their phone: a meditation app, an English learning app, a time management app, a workout app, an app for writing daily goals. When I looked at my friend's phone, I felt like they were very ready to change. Almost every good tool was already there. But the problem was, my friend rarely opened those apps. Do you see the problem? Those apps only gave my friend a false feeling of progress, but in real life, their life had not truly started to move yet. And I think knowledge is the same. Reading a good book, listening to a deep podcast, learning a new lesson, all of these things are like downloading another good tool into your mind. But if you do not use it in real life, it still just stays there. You know you should sleep early, but you still stay up late. You know you should love yourself, but you still stay in places that hurt you. You know you should be more disciplined, but you still delay things every day. So, what changes you is not how much knowledge you have downloaded. What changes you is how many times you have truly opened it, used it, and lived with it. You know, knowledge can give you advice, but it cannot live your life for you. When you stand in front of a hard choice, when other people's voices become too loud, or when you feel like you are losing yourself, you need something deeper than information. You need your own inner compass. I see many people who are easily affected by what they hear from the outside world. Just one compliment can make them happy for the whole day. Just one criticism can make them doubt themselves for a long time. When they see someone more successful, moving faster, or living a brighter life, they start to feel confused about their own journey. And I think what makes us tired is not only that the outside world is too noisy, it is also because inside us, we do not yet have a clear place to stand. When we do not know what we truly value, we are easily pulled away by other people's opinions. When we do not know what kind of life we want to live, we are easily tempted to follow someone else's life. When we do not have an inner direction, we can easily mistake every outside voice for the truth about ourselves. So, if we want to live with more strength and steadiness, maybe each of us needs to build an inner compass. This inner compass is like the compass inside a boat. Out at sea, the waves can be very strong. The wind can change direction again and again. The sky can become dark, the rain can fall, and other boats may be moving very fast in another direction. But if the boat has a compass, the person driving it still knows where they are going. And that is the real strength of a person who understands themselves. It does not mean they never listen to anyone. It does not mean they are always sure. It also does not mean they have never felt lost. It means that, among many voices in the outside world, they can still hear the voice inside themselves. And the most important thing is that they are awake enough to know which voice is fear speaking, which voice is society's judgment speaking, and which voice is the honest voice from deep inside their own heart. For a long time, I thought that only the right book, the right lesson, or the right piece of advice could help me change. I thought maybe I just needed to learn more, understand more, and collect more wisdom. But later, I realized that I was missing something very important. Real change is not only about learning more. It begins when we are brave enough to look at ourselves honestly. So if we really want to change, the first thing we need is the courage to see who we truly are. Not only at the bright, strong, and calm version that you try to show the world, but at the very real person inside you. A person who is also afraid sometimes. A person who sometimes feels jealous of others. A person who has weak days, insecure days, and old wounds that have not fully healed yet. A person who also has quiet dreams and secret desires that they do not dare to tell anyone. Seeing these dark corners does not mean we should blame ourselves or hate ourselves. It means we can finally begin to understand ourselves. Because if you do not see your fear, how can you know where you need courage? If you keep hiding your wounds, how can you know which parts of you need care and healing? If you do not admit your jealousy, how can you understand what your heart is truly longing for? On the days when you feel the smallest, that is exactly when you need to learn how to stand on your own side. And maybe this is why knowledge alone is not enough. Knowledge can be taught, but wisdom has to be lived. We can read many good books. We can learn from many wise people. But if we only collect their ideas without truly understanding ourselves, those ideas may never become our own wisdom. They may only stay as beautiful words in our mind. Words that sound deep, but do not really change the way we live. That is why we need to be careful with the outside world, because the outside world is always full of voices. Some voices tell us we are doing well. Some voices make us feel small. Some voices make us feel late. Some voices make us question everything about our own path. If we do not have a strong place inside ourselves, we can be easily moved by all of them. One compliment can make us feel important. One criticism can make us lose confidence. One successful person can make us feel behind. One beautiful life on the internet can make us doubt the life we are building. And slowly, we may no longer know whether we are living from our own truth or only reacting to the world around us. That is why we need to train our inner strength. Not the kind of strength that makes us hard, cold, or closed, but the kind of strength that helps us stay steady when the outside world becomes too loud. A strong person still listens, but they do not believe every voice. They still learn, but they do not follow every path. They still feel the wind, but they are not easily carried away by it. And maybe that is one of the quietest forms of wisdom, to live in this noisy world, but not let the noise decide who we are. So maybe, in the end, trusting yourself does not mean you always know the perfect answer. It does not mean you never feel lost, scared, or unsure. It simply means that even when the world becomes loud, you still remember to come back to yourself. Other people may move faster. Other people may choose a safer road. Other people may live a life that looks more beautiful from the outside. But their journey is not your journey. Their timing is not your timing. And their dream does not have to become your dream. There will be moments when your path feels slow. There will be days when no one understands your choice. There will be times when you have to walk through doubt, make mistakes, fall down, and learn again. But if that path is honest to your values, your heart, and the life you truly want to build, then maybe it is not the wrong path. Maybe it is just your path. Because life does not have one perfect formula for everyone. A meaningful life is not about copying someone else's success. It is about having the courage to listen to your own inner voice, even when the outside world is full of noise. So listen to advice, learn from people, stay open, but do not let every opinion become your direction. Do not let every criticism become your truth. Do not let every comparison pull you away from yourself. At the end of the day, you are the one who has to live your life. You are the one who has to walk your road. And you are the one who has to feel at peace with the person you are becoming. So trust yourself more than the noise. Not because you know everything, but because deep inside, you already have a compass. And the more you listen to it, the closer you come back to the life that is truly yours.